Well, hello and welcome to season.
Sorry,
what?
that was a
well,
a really
yes,
firm entrance, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I've got some things to say. So,
you get on with it.
Well, hello and welcome to season 5, episode 9 of the show that goes on for too long, has too many people in it, doesn't involve the guests enough, doesn't interview them properly. What else was there? Doesn't talk about photography until we're nearly an hour in. Swears. Is blasphemous and is male biased. So, hello, welcome.
Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year, everybody!
Indeed.
How are we all?
And if you're new to the Pubcast, this is how it will go on for the next 12 months.
Absolutely, yes. There's 5 of us here. We've got no Sam, who's poorly this week. Get well soon, Sam. And Dave, who unfortunately can't make it. Hope everything's okay, Dave. Now, we are expecting a guest, but in true northern style, no offence, he's saying that he'll be here after his tea. So we will wait and see when he turns up, and when he does, you'll see who it is. What else was I going to say? That was it, I think. How is everybody? We all right?
Hey, wonderful.
Yeah, we're good now. Good.
Yeah,
after a
excellent.
Rough Christmas, being ill, but
yeah, you and me both, mate. You and me both. It was.
Sam's got it now. Helen's just recovering from it.
Yeah, it's a horrible bug. I don't know if you had the same as I did, but it was awful. Shocking.
No, I just had. It was just like a really kind of heavy cold.
Yeah.
But it was such a shame because, I kind of waited, like we all did, kind of so long for that Christmas break. And I had plans. I was either going to go to the lakes for 2 nights before Christmas Day, or go to the lakes for 2 nights after Boxing Day. And I thought, I'll just wait and see what the weather's doing. It's great. I've got about 10 days off. I can pick and choose and be really flexible. And the day I packed up work, that was it. I kind of come down with this cold and sat for a week on the sofa doing absolutely nothing. So
yeah,
there you go.
It was horrible. I think the highlight of my Christmas week was throwing up a glass of water. I mean, a glass of water. Who throws up a glass of water?
Well, you sent a picture in the group, didn't you, of your Christmas dinner. Do you want to describe your Christmas dinner, Gal?
Yeah, it was 2 roast potatoes and a small bowl of gravy, and I only ate 1.5 of the roast potatoes. It was terrible. It was really, really bad.
That's how we know you're ill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was really bad. I mean, the good news is, like, I lost a stone and I've only put 4 pounds of it back on. So, for like 10 pounds worth of weight loss. I mean, it's not the best way to do it, but works for me, So, yeah, can't be bad.
How were the mushy peas, Jamie? Good.
They were superb, Adam. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I did see I got quite a lot of flack on the comments about my mushy peas, but I'll stand by my mushy peas. Yeah, I was
thinking of you over Christmas.
I can export them if you want, I'm sure.
We do get mushy peas here. We can get them.
You can't get the ones like I make. Actually, to be fair, and I'm not going to take the credit, my mum actually makes them and brings them here. So all I do is reheat them. But we have to have them. They are tradition. But yes, they were very nice. Fitted in extremely well with the Christmas dinner.
How was your brief? How was your brief filled?
Oh, they went down well. They went down well. Do you know? I don't know whether you watch it, Adam, but Great British Bake Off. And if you ever watch that, Paul Hollywood gives certain people that have really met that top notch of perfection a handshake, doesn't he? Yeah, I got a handshake from my wife from a Christmas dinner. How about that?
Wow.
I got a Leslie handshake because I performed so well with the Christmas dinner. So
you didn't get your fingers tangled, did you?
No. She's not from the Fens, mate. No.
Oh, no. True. So it's kind of works. Yeah. Oh dear. Just to let everybody know, by the way, that we are going to judge the competition tonight. I've got everything ready. It's all set up. We have got Adam's book. Thank you, Adam, very much for that. Much appreciated. It's even got, I noticed, a little thank you, a little well done note in it as well, Adam, which is good. It's signed and it's got a little well done note and some stickers,
personal
which
touch,
is very good.
This was important.
And I'll put it over there before I spill anything on it. yeah, so we will be doing that, but we're just waiting for our guest to arrive because he's been involved as well. So what have we been up to over the Christmas period and up until now? Has anyone bought anything? Let's start with that. Has anyone bought anything that they previously had and then sold and has rebought it?
Yeah. There is. No, I was going to say there's a reason for this, but there is no reason. Well, there is a reason. So I know you guys give me some flack, and it's probably justified, but I have sold a few things to MPB and then regretted it. I bought a 100 to 400 Sony lens, which I absolutely loved. And I bought a BH55 ball head, which I absolutely loved. But both of them items was extremely heavy. And this was at the time where I decided that I was going to do a lot more hiking, wild camping, that kind of stuff. And I couldn't justify the weight. So I sold both them items. And then within about a year, I bought them both back. And about 3 years ago, don't shake your head, Mr. McGlennon, right? Because I'm going to blame you for this in a second. Yes.
Is it my fault?
Yes. So I sold my Sony A7R3 about 2.5 years ago, I think. I bought the A1 and absolutely loved it, and I sold the A7R3. Anyway, I'm going to Lofoten with Stuart in about 7 weeks' time, and I really started to panic the other day. If anything happens to my camera when I'm in Norway, I can't bear to watch all these other photographers kind of take, really nice shots, and I'm just standing there with my iPhone. So I decided I would rebuy an A7R3 because they're quite cheap these days. So if it wasn't for Stuart and going to Norway, I wouldn't have spent that money today. So it's not my fault.
My fault.
It's
Okay.
Stuart's
Are you
fault.
are you booked it yourself, or are you booking it through Stuart?
Books what?
Norway trip.
No, through Stuart.
Yeah.
Well,
careful, Stuart, because you'll probably return it and then rebuy it at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, that will come.
It would be a bad thing though, because then he'd pay twice.
Just thinking that
you could send him half back. So you can only get half back because
turn
the
a profit.
deposit.
Add your handling fees,
and then he'll go again.
Yeah,
and it'll be fine.
Admin fees.
This is how it works. But you
deposit.
guys have to, from now on, I'm going to consult with you guys. When I decide to sell something, I'm going to put it on the group chat and I'm just going to say, I'm not even going to say, what do you think? I'm just going to ask your permission. Can I sell this item?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Brilliant.
Have you been up to anything else, Daz?
No, I can't afford anything else. No. No,
what about you, Adam? What have you been up to over Christmas and New Year?
Nothing actually. Just organising workshops. I hate doing it. I'm not very good at it, but I have to do it. So I organised a few workshops for the Rockies this year, and they sold out within 5 hours. So
wow,
yeah,
good stuff.
So I'm going to organise some winter ones for next year. Alistair Ben is coming over to do we have some in the spring, and then Paul and I are doing some in the fall, and then Alistair will come over again in the winter, kind of alternate. Yeah. So
yeah. I think Rocky 4 is my favourite, by the way. Yeah. Sorry.
Good to have you back, guys.
Yeah, I've been ill. Sorry, it's all the crap jokes have just all been stored up all over this Christmas period. What about you, Stu? What have you been up to, mate?
Similar to Adam, recently sorting out workshops. The trip that Daz is on, Lofoten's needing a bit of sorting out because it's coming up soon. But before that, obviously with the gallery, I don't actually get much of a break through Christmas like a lot of people in sort of retail, I guess. So I think I had about 3 days off over Christmas, and then I was in right through. So I'm kind of taking my Christmas break now, really, which is what I normally do anyway. But
who runs a gallery while you're away? Do you have someone working for you?
I haven't in the past, but I can't remember if I'd said on here before, but my mum, who does watch these, bless her, My mum's like,
hello, Stuart's mum.
She is now standing in for me on sort of odd shifts and stuff. So it's good because it's a bigger place with bigger overheads, and I need to have it open as much as possible. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so she's very kindly doing shifts for me, and it's working out really well. And she's making quite a few sales, which she's happy with. So yeah,
nice. She's on commission, I hope.
She takes it.
Stuart's mum. Make sure you're on commission.
Absolutely.
We'll take that as a no.
Hey, I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. You say she watches?
Yeah. She does now and again. I don't know if she watches everyone or not.
How does she cope with the male bias? Is she all right with it, or does she struggle, or?
She's pretty straight talking and common sense. So yeah, I don't think it'll bother her. But,
Good.
Did you manage to get out, Stu? Did you manage to get out? Because it's been snowing in the lakes, hasn't it? Last kind of.
Yeah, unsuccessfully. I went out yesterday morning and evening. I went up, got up into the hills, and it's just blazing blue skies, to be honest. I mean, it's nice to be out in the snow and everything, but couldn't do a great deal with it, to be honest, because when it's that bright, it's lovely to walk in, as we all know, the snow and everything, but if you've got really harsh blue skies, it's just, the snow's like a giant reflector, basically. So it's hard to work with a little bit when it's like that. But and then I went out at sunset. I tried to, I'm going to put the video out, actually, because it was a total balls up from start to finish, basically. But long story short, the shoot that I had planned, the shots that I'd kind of thought up didn't really work out because of, the light direction and whatnot. But it was just one of those days. I actually got back to the car, and when I was getting my kit out to walk to where I was going, a robin must have got in the car without me knowing. And honestly, so I was just having one of those days where just nothing I planned went right. Anyway, got back to the car, opened the door, got the fright of my life. This bloody thing's flapping around. I'm like, what the hell's that? It's bloody robin on the passenger side chair there. And I thought, oh, Jesus Christ. So I got all the doors open and the boot and everything. It just wouldn't move. So I was trying to pick it up, it's hopping around, and then eventually it flew out, and I thought, right, okay, sorted. Didn't realise it had shit everywhere.
Oh,
I mean, it was
nice.
so it's been in there, nice and warm, obviously, but it's been in there for probably 3 hours or something, and the dashboard was just covered in bird shit. I was just like, it's not my day today, I don't think.
I thought you were going to say you ran over it.
No, I'm not that cruel.
No, by accident.
Oh, no.
And you said that you've got a video, but it's not great. Is that right?
No, well, I mean, it's just one of those, isn't it? We all,
Yeah.
There was going to be some words come out there. I didn't really formulate them very well. But no, just the shot I had planned didn't work out because the light wasn't quite right, and the blue skies weren't helping. But I thought, well, I may as well put it out because I filmed it anyway. So yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Well, talking of videos that didn't really turn out, have you been, Jamie? You right?
What's the matter with the video that I put out?
Well, it was a bit stilted, wasn't it? You said you went to 2 different places and it didn't quite work out, and
so
that was my
dissing the videos.
I wasn't dissing your video.
That was quite aggressive, wasn't it? Talking to videos that didn't work out. God, Ruth, look at you, all confident since you've
Jamie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, moving on. Yeah. I don't know how to follow it. I did put a video out, guys. Yeah, thanks for asking. It did quite well, actually. Can we just say the views were, for me, quite high.
Yeah,
so
it was a good video. It just didn't turn out how you were expecting it, did it? Because the video is called "I wasn't expecting this" or something.
Very true. So yes,
that's my point.
Okay, all right. I'll take that lead then, and I'll carry on talking about the video that didn't work out as I expected. Yeah. But yes, I did manage to get out in between Christmas and New Year. Yes, you're right, guys, and went to my little place. I ended up doing things as I didn't expect to do, as you point out, which was, funnily enough, from my chat with Courtney and various others, I ended up doing a few little abstract close-up shots that I've never really dabbled with before, but I actually quite enjoyed it. And the ones I did at the end in the video, which were, I was standing by one of the meres, one of the lakes at home, and there was some deadfall leaves, some autumnal deadfall leaves on the floor. You could see through the water, and the ripples across the top. I just stood there watching them for a while. They're quite sort of mesmerising, and I thought actually it could make quite a nice image. So went and took the image, took it a few ways. And when I got back edited, I thought actually I really like this. This has come out much better than I expected. So yeah, put it out there and actually got a bit of a response because it won the Share Mondays this week on Twitter as well, or whatever it's called these days, or last week. Yeah, so
nice.
So I've actually started. I've already done some judging this week because if anybody does Share Mondays, they'll know that the winner then picks the winner for the following week. So I had to judge this week's entries, which is now on Blue Sky. So anybody that does Share Mondays that doesn't know, Share Mondays is now moved to Blue Sky from Twitter.
Well, that's good because we don't like Twitter anymore, do we?
Yeah, indeed.
Never liked it.
But it's good. I quite like it, and it's got I quite like that community under the Share Mondays piece. There's some good photographers in there, and it's quite nice. So it's nice to get a little bit of acknowledgement, I guess, from people like that. And yeah, so that was quite a productive little session, really, as it turned out. But then I had an even better session because I spent a few hours with Daz down at round the corner from me shooting barn owls, which was very unexpected.
Oh.
Was that the one I couldn't make it to? Or was that
it was.
One you arranged?
It was. No, that was the one you could make. New Year's Eve, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, I've been ill, obviously, and then earlier this week I did a workshop. I did a 2-day workshop with an American client in London, and it was really good. It was really, really good. We did 25 miles walking over the 2 days. I only took the tube once in 2 days. That's not bad, and covered a lot of ground. Shot some really cool places. Went to Brick Lane actually, and when we got there was this this massive filming, like these 2 huge lights, like on a crane shining down onto a shop, and they're closed off. Well, they hadn't closed off the road, but they closed it off to the traffic. And I was like, I wonder what the hell's going on here. So I sort of wandered down and said to this guy, like, who's filming? And he said, oh, I can't tell you, I'll get the sack. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. I was like, are you sure you don't want to tell me? He's like, no, I can't tell you. So went a bit further down, and there was these 2 other guys in high vis. I said, listen, who's filming here? He said, oh, I can't tell you. I said, well, what are they? Is it big? Are they, are they Hollywood? And he went, well, does this look like EastEnders? So I went, oh, okay, fair enough. I said, you can't tell me. And I was like, no. And I was like, and I really wanted to stick around to see who it was, but I couldn't because we were off somewhere else. And I thought, well, I can't waste 3 hours standing around waiting for some famous person to come out. So if you were there, or if you're around Brick Lane, or let us know, because I Googled it to see if I could find out, but no one seemed to know. So it'd be interesting to know what it was. But yeah, and I think, am I right in saying that it's going to be really foggy tomorrow morning?
Yeah, freezing fog. Actually,
has anybody got plans, Jamie?
I'm going to Humphrey in the morning.
Oh yeah. I might join you. Along? Yeah, I might. Yeah, because it also says rime as well, which I had to look up.
To be fair, though, the forecast for the last couple of days has said fog here, and there hasn't been any. Yeah. So I'm not wholly putting any.
No, but windy is really pushing fog, like across the whole of the south of the country tomorrow until about 9 o'clock. So,
well, I'm not going to take the risk of it happening and me not being there. So yeah, I'm going.
No, exactly. Yeah. Oh, well, I will almost certainly, almost certainly join you because I fancy a bit of that myself. So. And I might even make a video. You never know. Anyway, that's that bit done. I haven't got any admin because normally we've got admin, which is like, don't forget to get your competition entries in, but I haven't got any of that because that's all done. There isn't anything, is there? It was great to have Courtney on, by the way, the other week. And she sent me an email and said, well, I really enjoyed it and I'd love to come back on at some point. So for all you people who said that we didn't talk to her enough, because she enjoyed it. So up yours.
Well, she's not going to say she didn't enjoy it, is she?
No, but you wouldn't say, oh, please, she didn't say, please, can I come back on? But you wouldn't say, like, I'd be quite like to come back on. If you didn't want to, you'd just say, thanks so much for the opportunity, wouldn't you?
That's true.
yeah, so I think she enjoyed it. So anyway, we have got no subjects this week because I haven't planned anything, because I was expecting us to be concentrating really on the competition. But I hear that just before I got on, there was a conversation going on about workshops. So does anyone want to enlighten us with that? Anyone?
I have no idea what the questions were going to
No, I
be.
must admit,
it was Darren's idea.
No, it was just we was chatting, and it was, you know, it's a bit awkward actually now saying, right, let's talk about workshops, because the conversation earlier was just chit chat and it just kind of flowed into workshops. So obviously we're going to be putting Stuart and Adam on the spot now, and if you don't feel comfortable about resurrecting that conversation, I mean, you guys were just talking about deposits and how you go about doing things, and you was both telling kind of little stories, especially Adam. So yeah, over to you, gents, if you want to
people not paying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like getting blood out of a stone.
So go on, tell that story, Adam, when you was waiting for somebody.
Well, I'm pretty slack when it comes to people paying, and sometimes people pay me when they arrive, and I don't have a problem with that. Most people that come on these tours are repeats, so I know them. But now and then we have new people, and I had one lady, she signed up for 2 workshops and paid a deposit, and she never showed up. And my mistake was that I didn't receive the final payments from her. So we're all standing here outside my house waiting for this woman to arrive. No email or phone call. So I phoned her, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm away. I'm not going to be showing up." So basically, I was out a few $1,000s. I mean, it's my own fault for not following up, I guess. But you would think that most decent people would at least tell you that they weren't coming and give you the opportunity to sell their spot, So now that's forced me to make sure that people pay well ahead of time. And if they don't, then they lose their spot, which is really unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Because, I don't do a lot of workshops, and the ones that I do, I mean, it's a big chunk of my income. So if people aren't going to show up and not pay, then I'm out.
Yeah.
And you would have thought I would have learned my lesson at the very beginning. When I first started, before I got into YouTube, I had a couple of workshops at lodges that I had to pay up front for non-refundable deposits, and I didn't get one person sign up for one workshop. So it was the most expensive trip I've ever taken.
Oh wow!
It was in Jasper, and so I ended up just going with Karen. Just Karen and I went, but it cost us quite a few $1,000s.
You had a lodge each.
So we learned, pretty much. I learned my lesson on that. Well, you'd think I'd learned my lesson on that one. I guess I give most people the benefit of the doubt, and I figure most people are honest, and but that's not the case, unfortunately. So
yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? But I guess it's a salutary lesson, isn't it? That you need to make sure that you get your money in, and make sure that they're paid up before they've got a chance to not turn up.
Yeah, I think the thing about workshops is that people get quite excited. They sign up, you put one out, but then as time progresses, that excitement kind of dwindles a bit, and they're maybe not quite as enthusiastic when it comes to paying.
No, but you would have thought, wouldn't you, if they've paid the first like X $100, they'd be quite enthusiastic not to lose that X $100 by not turning up.
Possibly. I mean, but some people have a lot of money, and they, a few $1,000s is just it's chump change. There are a lot of people out there with a lot of money. And,
a bit like Daz.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I'd loads of money this morning.
Now you've got a lovely shiny second-hand A7R3.
Exactly, yeah, coming tomorrow.
Yeah. I've had quite a few bad experiences like this, same as Adam this year. And that, I mean, I'm pretty stringent on, terms are all up front in terms of when people are expected to pay and everything. My standard terms have always, for the longest time up until, well, I've changed them now for next year, but there's always been, a a proportion of it is a deposit, and then the final settlement has to be paid no later than 6 weeks before the date of the workshop. And that's never been a problem up until this year. And, you know, one of the downsides, I guess, a little bit of, if you're a workshop leader who your workshops sell out really quickly, and I'm fortunately, like Adam, mine sell out really quickly as well. And that what you get is you get loads of people, like he's saying there, that are enthusiastic and they pay a deposit way in advance of the workshop. And also what Adam's saying there is right, is that a lot of the people who come on these workshops have got a lot of money, and they'll put a deposit down of several £100s or whatever, just forget about it. And then it might be, you know, most of my workshops, you know, they're pretty full, usually up to a year in advance. So you can have a long time between them paying the deposit and then you actually reaching out to them and saying, right, final payments are due in, you know, 6, 7, 8 weeks, whatever it is. And they just forget. I had one guy this year he's actually booked on to 3 of my workshops in the past, and he's not actually been on the workshop because he's honestly, some of the stories I could tell you. So he's booked on 3 of my workshops, never actually attended one because he just books them way in advance and then just likes to cover his options and then just decides he wants to go on another workshop.
Go and do something else,
go and do something else. So I basically said to him, I said, look, with respect, can you not do this in future? Because I've no problem selling that place, but obviously as time winds down, people who would have taken that workshop place earlier on have now probably gone and booked with someone else, and you can't fill the spot. So that was one guy. As I say, I've since said to him, look, just don't book with me in future because you're taking up people's places. Mark Littlejohn, who we've had on here, obviously, he's had one guy who's booked with him something like 3 or 4 times, and he's actually paid the full amount. Wow. You wouldn't believe. So Mark's had about, I don't know, probably $5,000 off him or something like that, and he's never actually been on a workshop with him because he pays the money, and then I don't know whether it's they get cold feet or they're nervous around being around other people or strangers or whatever, and he just cancels at the last minute. And Mark's had to say to that guy as well, he's just, can you not book with me in future because I feel bad taking your money, and you're also taking up the spot of, you know, potentially someone else.
He can book with me if he wants.
Yeah, or me. I'll run one. I'll run one specially for him once a week, once a year. Daz, why do you keep doing that to people?
Do you think, speaking to Adam and Stuart, do you think being patient and exceptionally nice to people is an important part of being a workshop leader? No, perhaps I shouldn't ask this question, but I think I might do because it's safety in numbers. Stu, you know, what car have you got in Lofoten? I'll tell you for why. Because I ordered a suitcase the other day online and it came. I don't know how to describe this suitcase, but if you imagine it's like the trunks that they used to put on the Titanic. And now I'm really panicking. I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking, my God, what kind of so if it's not, you know, what have you got? Have you got a Hummer waiting? I mean, it's a standard suitcase. It just looks ginormous. Yeah,
I'm sure.
I used to do trips to Tonquin Valley, and to get into Tonquin, you had to either hike in, so it's a good 20 odd kilometers, or go on horseback. And I had to make it really clear to people that do not bring a suitcase on this trip, because you can't load a suitcase onto a horse. You know, trying to strap a suitcase on a horse does not work very well.
Buckaroo.
Especially a wooden trunk like Daz, you know, like Titanic trunk. Yeah.
It's funny, Daz, because normally when I go away, my trunks are too small.
Yeah.
I know. I thought about that one. Oh.
So have you paid your full amount, Daz? to
Yeah,
Stu's?
it's all paid, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all
Just
done.
checking.
Yeah.
And at what point are you going to cancel?
It's too late now.
Too late now. He's got the money. I can't
think-
cancel now.
I think what it boils down to is that at the end of the day, I'm a really bad business person. I'm a photographer. I'm not a business person.
But I think that just shows your nature, Adam. You're very trusting.
My administration is really bad. Last year, I overbooked. I had 9 people show up, and on the next workshop, I had 7 people show up. So obviously, somewhere along the line, I was scrambling trying to find a room for them. Stuff like that happens all the time. I'm just not very good, but that's just
link below to Adam's workshops.
What makes it worse? It was a 1-to-1.
Precisely. Yeah.
Oh dear.
So I've got actually a serious question for you two guys. So when you're organising a workshop, is there certain areas that you just know, right, as soon as I put this up, it's going to sell out within hours or days?
Well, as I was saying before we started, the Rockies trip, I organised one in the spring. They sold out, or two workshops. They sold out pretty quick. And then I just organised another one last week in the fall for an autumn, and they sold out within hours. I was really surprised, actually. The hard part about the Rockies is that it's extremely expensive. The hotels in the fall, especially in Lake Louise, for a 2-star hotel, you're looking at $500 to $600 a night per person, and it's just a crappy, nothing special. But if you go in the winter, you can get the same hotel for, maybe $200.
Right.
So it's a high demand area, and there's a limited amount of places to stay. So you're kind of, they have a monopoly on their places to stay. But
I think, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I think Lofoten is probably similar. It's probably a place that a lot of people would like to go. Yeah. I've never been there, but I would imagine the honeypot areas, people like to go to them, Iceland and the Rockies. As soon as you have somewhere that's a bit off the beaten track, they're harder to sell.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate, but
the other thing that we were saying before is about repeat clients. I mean, the location is obviously important, but Adam will be the same as me in that if you've been doing it a lot of years and you've provided a high quality service over a long period of time, you'll get people who just want to keep going with you, because when people are spending a lot of money, they want kind of consistency. They don't want any shocks. You don't want to be going to some far-flung place, across the other side of the world or something, and end up with a surprise on the accommodation, or the workshop doesn't meet certain standards. You know what I mean? So when you get repeat customers, that's a big part of it. They want to book very quickly and take up them places. So really, the most successful people you'll see running workshops are the ones who aren't really actually pushing workshops a lot on social media, because they're often selling out before they even get to social media, or by the time they get to social media, they might only have to sell 1 or 2 places or something like that. So having a repeat client base is a really important part of it, but you only get to that point if you've done it a long time and proven that you can provide a good service over a long time.
So would that sell, Stu, then through, say, like a newsletter? Is that what you're talking?
Yeah.
So you'd put out that on a newsletter, and that's where you'd get your business from?
Mailing lists, yeah. I mean, mailing lists. It's something that it's not a really kind of exciting thing to talk about, but the most powerful thing you can have is a really good mailing list. Social media is great, and you can have, you'll see many photographers that have got massive social media platforms in terms of followers, but it's a whole different ball game in terms of people who are actually going to spend money with you. That's it's a different thing.
I think the repeats, they also come because they form friendships with other photographers. And like I have, there's a couple actually. They've signed up for every workshop that I've offered this year, and and they formed another friendship with a woman that lives in the mainland there, and she comes on them as well because they have this little kind of group together, and they've signed up for pretty much all my workshops because they just enjoy spending time together. It's great.
Same thing. Good, same thing.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to say, mate.
That was a question for Adam. Adam, have you ever booked like accommodation for your workshop only to find out that the landlord was went to prison for attempted murder?
No.
Yeah, right. So last year I was I'll keep names out of it, but basically I was approached by a foreign photographer asking if I wanted to help lead a workshop with him, and it was a bit of an unusual one because I don't ever do that, but he wanted someone to be like the local sort of expert for the locations and stuff like that. And I looked at it all, and it seemed like a straightforward enough sort of business arrangement. And I said, yeah, fine, we'll do it. So it was with a Swedish group, and I won't get into the sort of the workshop details and stuff like that because there's too much to go over. But basically, this guy was a bit of a cowboy, it turned out. Even though I'd done my due diligence in terms of checking this guy out and make sure, he all seemed kosher. Anyway, he turned out to be a bit of a nightmare. But he put us up in this hotel in Keswick, and he'd asked me ahead of the workshop, where do you recommend? And I said, the only one I use is this place called Sunnyside Guest House, which is a brilliant base for workshops. Used them for years. They're certainly not the cheapest by any stretch, but you know what you're going to get. Goes back to what I was saying about surprises. So anyway, I passed the details on, and he obviously decided they were too expensive, so he booked us into this other place. We got there, and I'd never been in this place before, and it was like something out about Fawlty Towers. Basically, it was just an absolute, joke. Basically. And I thought, I've got 4 days of this now with this guy who's not only a cowboy, but he's put us up in a bit of a shithole, basically. Alarm bells should have started ringing when we got there, and the rooms weren't ready at 3:00. And this guy who came down, who seemed to be literally, John Cleese, just running around doing every job and all that. And he's like, oh, the rooms aren't ready and this, that, and the other. So I was like, fine, we'll come back later. Anyway, the start of the end of the first day, everyone's gone to bed, and it's about, I don't know, maybe 10:30, something like that. And I got woken up. I must have been tired because I went to sleep pretty quick. I got woken up by some loud music on the floor below, and I thought someone was having a party or something like that. So I was like, bloody hell's that, So I walk out onto the landing to sort of, as I'm going to sort of go downstairs to investigate what all this noise is, because it's really loud. And a door opens, and the guy who dealt with us, the hotel manager, comes out of this room, pitch dark in the room behind him, the telly's on, music's blaring, and he comes out with his top off. And I thought, it's a bit weird. So he comes, and the only way I can describe it is it was basically like something you would see in a halls of residence at uni, basically. So anyway, it comes out, this music's playing, and I looked at it, I had to sort of do a double take as if to say, like, is that the manager? I was like, what? So anyway, I looked at him and I said, hey mate, I said, you knock the music down. People are trying to sleep up here. And he sort of looked at me and he went, oh, it's movie night. And I went, what? I'm thinking, where you get moments like this where it's just totally surreal. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? I thought, am I still dreaming? So anyway, he says this to me like it's the most normal thing, like he's at home having a movie night. And I felt like saying, you do realise this is a hotel and you're meant to be running it. Anyway, so he goes back in and he turns it down enough that I must have been able to get to sleep, but he clearly didn't knock it off. Anyway, the next 2 nights, there's another manager, so he must have been on his days off. The last night, same thing happens again. Now, I won't bore you with the stuff in between, but I'd had a nightmare with this guy who was running the workshop with me, total cowboy, and I'd had 3 days of just, wasn't good. Anyway, got to the last night, and the music's even louder, and it's about 11:15, and I'm at my wit's end at this point, because, as I say, I've had 4 days of this. I go downstairs, and the two of our workshop clients had actually opened their doors to the landing to sort of peer out, but they clearly weren't comfortable going and sort of confronting this guy. Anyway, I've had enough, so I go bangs on the door, and he comes out and he's got his top off again, and the place stinks of weed. He's obviously having his own little private party or something. I said, knock the effing music down, or I'm going to put you through that TV. And he was like, and he's honestly, I'd absolutely lost the plot by this point. So the two from the workshop group are sort of looking around, going like, "What's going on?" And he looks at me and he says, "What? I didn't think it was that loud." I said, "Knock down." So anyway, I goes back upstairs and he must have knocked it down, but it was an absolute nightmare. Anyway, fast forward to today. My partner sends me a link to this thing in the local rag. Turns out this idiot that I had the argument with over the telly, he'd been sent down for attempted murder, and he tried to murder his wife with an ice axe.
Wow.
So I knew there was something a bit wrong with that guy, but so anyway, that was my Swedish workshop group nightmare last year, and I thought it was.
So when are you rebooking that one, Stu? You're rebooking it?
Yeah,
for
I know.
This year? Jesus Christ!
There is some crazy people about it. You don't know what goes on behind kind of closed doors, but that's a bit worrying, isn't it? That really.
I've got to say, if that doesn't put you off running workshops, then for you people out there, then nothing will.
No.
Although I've got a feeling that these two might just be making it up so they can corner the market. They've probably got together before this and gone, now listen, if we can make it sound like an absolute nightmare to run workshops, no one else is going to want to do it.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We've just had a quick break, but we've now been joined by our guest. Hello, James, Mr. Burns.
How do, gentlemen? How do?
Welcome back.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Have I missed out?
What, in the podcast? No, not really. No.
I have to say though, James, we often talk about we've missed you. We've really missed you on the podcast. Yeah.
And I don't talk about you.
No, exactly. And that's why we miss you.
Yeah.
That northern honesty.
Yeah. Missed you.
I mean, start at 6. It's now like 10 to 7. I might turn up.
Well, what's that bloody times this you're starting?
Yeah.
It's my
we started at 6.
Same time as when you was here.
That's why I probably stopped joining you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, probably we got bored
so
of
I
us.
finish work, need me tea.
Yeah. But then we can't go on for too long, can we? Because Daz is asleep by 7:30. He's like literally.
Do you finish at 8? Yeah.
About 8. Yeah. About 8. Okay. Hopefully. Right. So now James is here, we can get on with the competition. But I will say, I have to say this: there were so many really, really good images that haven't even got a look in, and it's sad, unfortunately, that we can't show every image. But there was, I mean, I could have picked, I genuinely could have picked 25 for my top 5. I could have easily picked 25, 30 for my top 5, and so if your image hasn't been picked by us, it doesn't mean that it isn't a really good image. It just means that we had so many good images. The bar was so high that But what we'll try and do is put a few of the sort of the ones that just missed out at the end. We'll just try and put those at the end. Anyway, let's start with you, James, I think, seeing as you are here.
You have to remind what I picked.
We will go, well, I'll put it on the screen so you'll be able to see it. So we will go with your 5th place.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, urban scene. This is number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
What do you like about it, James? Is it that it's not black and white?
It's not, yeah, that's right. It's not black and white. No, I like the colours. I like the moodiness. The orange and the blue and the umbrella combined. You got a good combination of colour and tones there. I just think it creates a story. stranger there in the background. I'm talking as I go along. I'm just reminding myself why I liked it. It just stood out to me from the rest anyway.
Yeah,
and I've been doing a lot of urban myself, you see, so I've got that itch.
Connection.
Yeah, it's good. It is a good shot. It is a good shot. And just to let you guys know that was by Gary Daly, and it's called Santiago. So well done, Gary, for getting that pick. Let's move. Nice. In fact, I will just say as well, just to move things along, that was my number 5 as well. So I also picked that one, and I liked it because I like the difference in colour between the right hand side. It went from like a nice warm tone down to cooler tones, and I also really like the fact that it was a sort of like a panoramic image. That sort of stood out to me. So yeah, I really like that as well. Right, so Stu, this is your
number 5.
This is your number 5. This is by Mark Dixon.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? Why I liked it?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I just thought it was a bit different. I mean, you see a lot of black and whites, but you know, I thought the composition was quite interesting. It's a bit quirky, and the sort of grainy look to it, I really liked. It's almost maybe a bit, dare I say it, maybe a bit Kenner-ish, maybe something like that. But yeah, it's just a bit different, I think. And I actually really I like the composition, and the trees are very interesting, and looks like a bit of a thick fog behind it. And yeah, just whenever you're looking at images, judging comps, you want to see something that sort of makes you think a little bit, and this one did.
Yeah, it's nice treatment on it as well, isn't it? It looks like you said, it looks something different, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like the way those little trees on the top left-hand corner is just holding your eye in that corner.
Yeah, very well composed.
Really good.
I thought about maybe cropping that out, that top left, but
no, you don't want it.
It'd have been a bit too bright up that corner. It's just pulling your eye back in, isn't it? Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that's a good image. Well done, Mark. Mark Dixon on that one. Right, next we'll move on to, I really hope I've got this one right. Next, let's move on to Daz. So Daz, I've got as your number 5, this one.
Yeah, I mean, to echo Gary, there were so many kind of good entries this year, and when I put my entries through, you think, oh, have I made the kind of right decision? But then looking at this straight away, now it's back on the screen. Yeah, I think I definitely did. Yeah, I just really like it. I just like the sun kind of bursting through a kind of very moody sky with a reflection on the lake, and then you've got that little peak on the left-hand side, and I can just imagine like kind of being there, actually taking that photo, like myself, like experiencing the conditions. So everything about that photo, I feel that I could relive myself, So so very well shot.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's got a nice feeling to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Mood.
Yeah, a lot of mood.
I like how the sun's slightly obscured as well.
Yeah.
By the cloud. If that was fully in view, it might have made a difference.
It may have been too bright.
Where's this shot?
I'm not sure. Doesn't say. Just so you know, that one was by Andrew Herbert. So well done, Andrew.
Well done.
Good work there.
Well done, mate.
Next, let's move on to Jamie's number 5.
Yeah, surprise, it's trees. But I think more than anything else, I quite like obviously the composition is very, very simple, but effective with that centralised fir tree or pine tree standing out amongst the background. But I just quite like the processing as well. I think it's the way it's been toned, I think, is really nice. Those colours work well together, and I think just the simplicity of it with that central pine is just simple but really effective, and stood out to me massively when I saw that. I thought it was really nice.
Okay. Well,
I agree.
Yeah, lovely shot. Yeah,
that one
really
that
nice.
one caught my eye, I must admit.
Yeah, very nice. That's Gary Sugden, by the way. So well done, Gary.
Well done, Gary.
Good work, Gary.
He spells Gary wrong, but other than that, he seems like a nice guy. So that's Gary Sugden. Okay, so that's 16. So what we'll do is we'll do Adam's 16 now. I mean, it might be Adam's 16. Who knows? I mean, Adam just gave me them in number order. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's really surprised.
Surprised.
No, I do remember this one. Actually, the thing that I really loved about this was the reflection. That was my initial draw to it. I love the patterns in the bottom there. This is a good shot. Like it. I like the composition. Simple.
Yeah.
Colours as well.
It's
Orange
nice,
and
pretty-
greys.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
I like that
picture.
one.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, simple's the word, I think, isn't it? Simplicity, really well composed, but very simple.
But it's definitely the pattern in the bottom with the reflection. That's I find
that's
that quite
nice.
striking.
Yep, and that one was by Rakesh Chatterjee. So well done, Rakesh, for that one.
Yeah.
Yep, well done on that one. So we've now got Dave's and Sam's, and as they're not here to explain it, I'll just put those images up for you. Okay, so now we'll move on to our fourth place, I hope, images. We'll start with, who did I start with last time? Was it you, James? Yes, it was.
Me.
Let's go with James again and see if I've got it right this time.
The reason I like this,
Good title.
and you may know, Stu, you may know the image I'm referring to. There's a shot looking straight across, I think it's Derwent Water, where it's perfectly level. Do you remember I don't know if you can picture that image. I can picture it anyway.
Yeah.
And this, to me, because it's wonky, it's like it's sticking two fingers up at the authority, as it were. I want to be different. Yeah. So completely different than the norm. And this white just struck me. It's not so much the image itself, but the fact that you've gone out and you've photographed something which isn't pristine and perfect, if you know what I mean. It's gone away against the normality. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was shot. I think that was back last May, because I was in the lakes last May when that jetty looked just like that.
Is this Derwent Water?
Yeah, it's Ashness jetty.
It's actually, that's right. Yeah.
We had a
What's
stormy
that? So
period.
had a heavy night out and got a bit drunk or something, is it? Or
A couple of the jetties got bashed up because we had a few storms that came in, and it happens quite a lot actually, that these jetties they only sort of survive maybe a couple of years or whatever, and then they just rebuild them back out again.
oh, that's quite cool, isn't it? Because it's something you're not going to see all the time. So yeah, well done.
Exactly.
So that was Don Hart who took that. Who I think Don came third in one of our competitions. Not last year, but maybe a couple of years back.
Do you know what? And if it was shot in May, and perhaps Don can comment, I did actually see, as I was driving past, a photographer in that composition. So it might have even been him that I even saw. There you go.
Right, so Stu, I've got this. Okay. I've got this as your number 4 image.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah, I just thought, because I think from the last time we did one of these, I might be wrong, but I thought I heard a couple of people saying that, there's too many landscapes and stuff like that. Now, I was consciously looking for non-landscape pictures that I wanted to put in the top 5. So there was a couple of wildlife pictures that I looked at that I quite liked, and this is not a landscape either, but I really just like the splash of colour in it. It's just a bit different. I mean, for people who shoot motorsports and stuff, this is probably quite a sort of, I don't know, maybe quite a common sort of shot, I guess. But if you're used to just looking at landscapes all the time, it was a nice change. So, yeah, nice and colourful.
Yeah, I agree, Stu. I really liked it as well. I thought this was an excellent shot. There's one similar that actually I've picked in my top 5, but just pipped it. But it's good. I love the feeling, the movement in it, and and like you say, the splash of colour is really good, and it's really sharp as well, which is excellent. So yeah,
being on the angle as well, rather than just
the angle is fantastic as well, isn't it?
A little bit different. Yeah.
And that was from Pete Weidman. So well done, Pete, on that one.
Shot.
good shot. Who did I go to next after Stu? Was it you, Daz? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so Daz, I have for you this one.
Yeah. So I just looked at that and I just absolutely love that photo. I really do. I think I'm assuming it was cropped in, wasn't perhaps in camera. But I just think the way that he's cropped that photo, a lot of negative space to the right, you know, the butterfly on the left with the flower, very colourful, very sharp. The colours in the background. Yeah, I just think it's a beautiful photo, that, and I'd have been quite proud to be taking that one myself.
Personally, the thing I really like about this one is the transition of colour as well, from left to right. It works really well. That sort of the bright background that's highlighting the butterflies that sort of goes off into a more of a sort of darker toned green.
And they correspond well, don't they? The colours and the flower itself with the background.
Yeah, it's lovely. I had this on my shortlist as well. I didn't make my top 5, but it was in my shortlist, definitely.
It's lovely. It was in mine as well.
Yeah, also mine. So yeah, totally. Very good image, that one. And that was from Ross Brocklesby. So, well, not Ross Broccoli. Okay. Not Ross Broccoli. Do you remember when you called him Ross Broccoli? No, that's from Ross Brocklesby. So well done, Ross. There's a really good image. Okay, so let's have a look. We've got Adam. So Adam, I've got this as your number 4. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's like something I do.
All right.
I like it. That's a good image.
Could have picked that one.
Cropping to do. Got it.
Well, it's very similar to something that I would probably take. That's why I like it so much. No, it's very simple, and the pattern it's beautiful. You know, some images, they just resonate with you, and this one resonated with me. So, yeah.
Is it ice? It's not long exposure, is it? That's ice?
I think it's ice, yeah. And there's bits of ice on top of it, yeah. Or maybe bits of grass sticking up with frost on them.
Birds and distance.
Yeah, it's good. You know what? You know what a camera club competition judge would have said? What do you think? What do you think a camera club competition judge would have said about that? First thing they would have said.
What is it?
The border's too thick. No, they've got the border's too thick.
Of course.
I like it, but the border's too thick.
That's why the camera club judges.
That's true. Yeah.
If anything, I mean, if I was going to be critical, I would probably tone down the top just a tad, where it's quite bright. But that's just me. I mean,
it is really nice though, Adam.
I like
can see why I can see why you picked it, Adam.
Complementary colours.
Yeah.
Sort of crop that you like to do as well, isn't it?
Precisely.
24, yeah.
It's a 1x3 then.
So that one was by Sven Tore Svade.
Wow.
I've probably butchered that name, but well done, Sven. That's a great image.
Lovely. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're round to me, aren't we? For my pick. So similarly to your pick, Stu, actually, I really like this one, which is also from Pete Weidman. I nearly picked the one that you picked, but the reason that I picked this one instead is because I feel there's a little bit more of a sense of movement in it. It's probably not quite as sharp, actually, as the one that you picked, but I just really love the sense of movement. So yeah, and I thought it's nice to have a bit of variety in our competition results. So Pete, fantastic image, well done, and yeah, thanks for entering, brilliant. Jamie, this is your number 4.
Yeah, it's in mine.
Yes, sure. Yes, I like this. There was a story here, and that was what I liked about this. There was the photographers actually created something to make you think. Okay, there's two. I think there's 2 girls, or I don't know what they are. I can't actually see, but it doesn't really matter. There's two people there watching this burning bonfire across the other side of the lake, and what are they doing? They're sitting there, they're thinking, they're enjoying. I don't know, there's just a story there. There's something to make you think about the picture and the image. So it's not just a photograph, it's a story within the picture, and that's what I really liked about it. composition, it works, but it's not that. It's a great little image that really makes you just sit and think, well, yeah, what are they thinking? What are they talking about? You know what I mean?
Burning a local witch.
Yeah.
My face is on fire.
They're probably going, shit, this is hot.
I've got no eyebrows.
I can see someone in the flames here.
Yeah.
Dad, can I move yet?
Yeah. My legs have melted away. I can't move.
Make a good
plastic legs I got for Christmas. They've now gone.
Make a good album cover that or something, I reckon.
Yeah.
It would, yeah.
And it's well composed, actually, isn't it? Because you see the bottom of the flame.
Yeah,
just
between the two
silhouette.
Yeah.
And it's nice how that flame is giving them a nice backlit sort of edge as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, edge of her hair.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, it is nice. I did look at that one as well. So yeah, good shot. Well done.
Looks like one of our summers in British Columbia.
It's like Hollywood at the moment.
LA.
California.
Yeah. Just to let you know, that was by Andrew Simpson. So well done, Andrew.
Well done, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, good image. Right. Okay, and I will now show you Dave's and Sam's fourth place, and then we'll move on to the third place images. Right, James, we'll start with your number 3 image. Which
009, Gary.
Yes, 009. Yes, excellent. That's the one that I've got as well.
Right.
One Man, One Dog, One Tree by Steve Stain. So, well done, Steve. What did you like about it, James?
Well, it's again black and white, simple form, good separation, tree, the figure, the dog. You've got a bit of a story going on, like the space around it. My sort of shot is that.
Yeah,
obviously taken on the weekend when we had that snow, whenever that was. But yeah,
it's really nice, isn't it? It's my mother-in-law's favourite image as well of the competition. So yeah,
it's lovely. Really good shot, Steve.
Yeah, well done, Steve. Yeah, excellent. Very, very
Steve
good.
Stain.
Steve Stain. Yeah.
YouTuber.
Yeah, very good. Right. Let's have a look. What have we got for you, Stu? Right, there you go, Stu. That's your number 3.
I recognise that.
Yeah, it's a little different again from the stuff you usually see with woodland. It's not. I like to see a woodland image that isn't so reliant on heavy mist. It's more just about these interesting shapes on the tree. I'm not usually a big fan of sort of lone trees in woodlands, sort of single trees, but this one works really well, and that that patch of light that's getting through at the top there to just give a little bit of separation. It looks like it's been shot pretty wide open on the aperture as well, looking at off reasonably shallow depth of field. So, and it's not autumn colours or whatever, it looks like sort of maybe springish coming into summer. So nice different woodland image, I thought.
Do you know whose it is, Stu?
You are?
Do you know whose it is?
I do, yeah.
I was going to say, did you buy the book this week?
Total coincidence.
But it's a beautiful shot. The feeling this book, if anybody's not got that, it's by James US. Fantastic, really nice little zine.
Really good. Really
good. It's a lovely shot. Yeah, James Ewer, well done. Excellent image there. Good stuff. Right, Daz.
Similar to the first image, or my 5th place image. I kind of always kind of picture myself in them kind of surroundings, taking images kind of like that, and so straight away I was just drawn to the lake and the layers and the mood, and just the light of that picture. And again, sometimes what Adam said a little while ago, you have a connection with a photo, or we've said before, like a photo can evoke an emotion, and as soon as I saw that, I just again, like my 5th place, I could just imagine myself being in those surroundings with my camera, trying to capture a photo like that. So, yeah, so that's why I chose it.
I see what you're saying, Daz. It's really nice.
It was in my extended shortlist as well. Lovely shot.
Great shot. Yeah,
very. Did you see what it was, Gary?
I know.
Golden Moments, Loch Marie. That was by Peter Skyrm.
Oh,
okay.
Skyrm. Yeah, Peter.
You know him as well, Stu.
He's one of the lads that comes with me on workshops.
Well done, Peter. Very good.
Well done, Pete.
Like the old boys network, isn't it? Jesus. Right. Okay. Who's next?
Teacher.
Adam. It's Adam.
All right.
Right.
Oh yeah. I like this. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I thought I'd do something a bit different because usually it's just trees and landscapes and such. But I thought this was quite intriguing. You kind of figure, well, what are those two people sitting there? What are they talking about? Behind the. I think it's well composed. I like it.
Yeah.
The finger right at the end of that word, or whatever it is.
There's not much of a response from you guys. I'm taking everybody else's kind of whatever.
No, I like it. I like the movement in it. I like. I'm not sure about the telephone thing. The communications thing on the left hand side, but other than that, I like it.
Gary, it's balance. Yeah,
it's balanced. Yeah, it's balanced.
It's like your typical bus stop in the UK. It smells of urine. I can smell the urine.
I think what would have made it better for me is on that kind of black, whatever that is there, if there had been some sort of spunking cock, then I think that would have been that would have been in my top 5 then for sure.
I've only been here less than half an hour.
Well, that was that one's called. Hang on, let me just see what it's called. That's called Lack of Spunking Cock by Robin Chun. So no, that's from Robin Chun. So well done, Robin. Good work there. Good work.
Oh dear, mate.
Oh dear, Jamie. Let's move on to your 3rd place.
Good job we've got James, not Courtney, on this week, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yes.
This is me being a bit different and choosing a non-landscape shot with a bit of wildlife. Yeah, it's nice and cute, isn't it? Really. But no, obviously composed quite well. Is this a Signet, Garrett, a Daz? Do you know, or a Gosling? I don't know which one it is. Is it a Signet? Right,
Signet, isn't it?
Is it a Signet? Yeah, hidden in there. But I think it's just lovely. It's just a lovely little shot. As I say, lovely little composition, very simple, but it's one of those shots that you think, oh, it's cute. You know what I mean? But cute in a well taken way, not sort of a snap type cute.
Just want to cuddle it.
Yeah.
Well,
but
I picked, I don't know, it was about kind of 15 photos that I whittled it down. I think I got down to about 8 photos, and this was in like kind of my top 8, and I had to decide whether to where to place it. So, but I really like this photo.
Yeah, it's a good image. Yeah, it is good. I can't quite work out though what obviously that's other bird wing around it, but is that like just one other swan, or because it's massive? It's just like it looks like
its mother. Sure, it's mother's.
Yeah, I know, but it's massive. That I don't know.
No, that looks that looks like the swan's back with the 2 wings either side.
Yes. Okay, fair. Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good image. That is called Under the Wing, and that's by Colin Powell. So well done, Colin. Well done, mate. Well done. That is a good image. Right, let's go to my number 18, right, or number 3. Yeah, so I picked this as my 3rd, and I'm surprised that I am surprised that this didn't get more picks, to be honest with you, because I just think it's a really, really dramatic shot, and it's really sharp, and it's really well taken. It's I just love it. I just think it's a really great shot.
I just don't like pelicans.
Excellent shot.
Isn't it such? I think it's because you see it quite, not specifically this sort of bird, but it's quite a common sort of themed image.
Yeah, possibly.
So maybe that's why it didn't stand out as much.
Yeah, possibly, but I just think it's a really a really good example of it. Yeah. I love the fact that the background is like there's nothing, it's nothing discernible in the background, so your whole focus is on this bird. Yeah, no, I just really liked it, and I just I just like the drama of it all. I just think it's a good shot. And that one was by Luca Masato. So well done, Luca. Good image. And I will put up the number 3 places for Sam and for Dave. Right. Number 2. So let's start with you, James, for number 2.
Well, again, the symmetry, the story behind it. I like how it's composed. The bottom part of the flame is outside the silhouette of the 2 figures. The colouring. There you go.
Yeah, well
That's all
well
that's
done.
needed, basically.
Well done.
The energy.
So let's start with you, Stu. Now, you and me have both picked the same number 2 here, and that's Charlie's Tree by Darren Morehouse. So do you want to just say what you like about it?
Yeah, I mean, when everyone was taking those Aurora shots, I don't know if this is from the October one or the May one, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of planning to go and get a shot like that. You know, it's easy just to go to wherever's closest. So Darren's obviously not done that. He's got to, and it would have been quite awkward to probably compose that in the dark as well. But yeah, it's a very striking image, and it's processed very well. It's easy when you see a lot of really bad Aurora pictures processed badly, with the white balance being wrong and stuff like that. And, you know, it's processed very tastefully as well, which I like.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's not overly done, is it? It's not like, it's not garish. It's sort of, it just kind of works.
Well, you see a lot of them where people have got the white balance too warm. You know what I mean? And you have to have the white balance a lot cooler for shooting Aurora than you think. So yeah, no, that was mine.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew who'd taken the image, but I remember speaking about this back when I actually saw it on the back of the camera on Facebook. I just really like it. I think it's just really simple. It's the composition itself simple, but the Aurora just, you know, really brings it to life. So yeah, I love that shot. So well done, Darren. Yeah, really good.
Why is it called Charlie's Tree?
It's Charlie Waite's tree. I mean, it's not Charlie Waite's tree, is it? It's a tree.
He was the first to photograph it, I guess.
Well, I doubt he was the first to photograph it. But
so he reckons the tosser.
Ouch.
Jesus.
Can I leave that in,
John,
Stu?
do you?
Can I leave that in?
Well, for John, Woman's Weekly.
leave it in.
Yep, excellent. And Daz, you've picked for your number 2, you've picked the One Tree, One Man, One Dog from Steve Stain. So do you want to just tell us what you like about that? Because we've seen that one already.
Well, we've seen that a few times before, but it was just the simplicity of it. I just thought it was lovely. I really did. You know, just obviously the tree, the one man, the one dog. Yeah, bit of snow. Yep. What's not to like?
Yeah, just that picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is like a sketch. Yeah, it's very good.
It just you could look at that photo and you know, just kind of obviously, you know, it does exactly what it's meant to do. You know, kind of like pull you in. So lovely.
And Adam, do you want to talk about your number 2?
Sure.
What is it?
All right. Yeah.
Maybe don't sound so surprised.
Yes, well,
did you just put all the numbers up on a board and throw a dart? You throw 5 darts?
I didn't.
180.
No, I took my time, but I for whatever reason I forgot to give you which one I thought was my favorite and so on. But
I like that one.
Yeah, I love the pattern in this. It almost looks like 3 pairs of eyes looking at you. You can see where they kind of form triangles. The thing that I actually quite like about this is that it's not symmetrical. Usually, if I was photographing this, I'd probably go for direct symmetry and just put everything very central and have it so that everything was equal on each side. But I kind of like the way that they haven't done that, because it sets it off a bit. Yeah, I really enjoyed this photograph, and it's not my usual landscape nature shot, So yeah,
quite powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's simple and it's
Sorry, that didn't.
Yeah, very good.
Urban tree
image.
Went above your head.
Sorry. Yeah, an urban tree, exactly. So, powerful. Oh,
thank you. Yeah, that took a while, didn't it?
Yeah. See what you've done.
Thank you.
Powerful.
That is that's called Big Vista Overlook by Jeff Durbin. So well done, Jeff. You made number 2 on Adam's list. So right, number 2 for you, Jamie, is this one.
All right.
Indeed.
I know where that is.
So yes, that's it's Elterwater, isn't it? Is that right?
Elterwater, yeah.
Elterwater, yeah.
It's the River Breath.
We went, and I know Adam, you shot there as well. Probably we all have.
Same tree.
Got light.
Exactly, James, and I think that's really why this one stood out to me. I love the toning in this. Obviously it's a winter shot, but you've got some of the browns in there to give it a slightly hint of autumn still. But the light and the way that light just sits and floats across those trees in the background, I think it's just beautiful. It's just got so much to it that it's definitely a shot that you'd hang on your wall, and I think if you look at shots that you want to print and hang on your wall, this would be one that I would be more than happy to hang on my wall. And if it was a shot I took, it would be my portfolio for sure. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Really is. And I know those that have been there, there are plenty of compositions that do work quite well there, but I think this photographer, whoever it is, and I don't know, has been extremely, I wouldn't say lucky, because obviously he's planned his trip for the right time, but the fact he's got that light with those wintry conditions and those color tones, it's just everything come together at once, and it's absolutely stunning.
It's a great shot, and I'm not going to tell you just yet who that is, because it's been picked a couple more times. So
has he been on one of Stuart's workshops?
Have we have we been through everybody's number 2s? I think we have, except we've got Sam and Dave to do. So I will share with you Sam and Dave's number 2s now. And so you can see them. Right, and now we're going to move on to the number 1 picks. And this time we're going to start with you again, James. So this is your number 1.
Very nice.
I thought it was different. I love the angles of the first 2 horses looking at the camera while the other horses veering out, nearly out the frame. And the contrast between the dark and the whites, and again, and it's a word we commonly use, simplicity.
Yeah.
Nice bit of movement, simple. Yeah, it just stood out for me.
Yeah. And actually looking at it here, it's so well edited as well. It's really, it could be, I guess it could be easy to do too much with it, but it's really nice, actually. It's really well edited.
Yeah. It's got a soft feeling to it, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And that image, which is James's number 1 pick, is Welsh Wild Mountain Ponies by Alan Coles. So well done, Alan.
Well done, Alan. Yeah. Well done, Alan.
Yeah.
Good, Alan.
So well done, Alan, on that one. Right. So we will now go to Jamie's number 1 pick, which we will have seen because it has been picked by both Dave and Sam earlier on, but no one else has put it in at number 1, Jamie. So let's go with that one, which is
all right.
Yeah. which I called Birch and Bokeh in my description. It's surprise, it's a silver birch tree, but I think it's beautiful. It stood out to me as soon as I went through and flicked through the early entries. I think because it came in relatively early, and I literally just jumped out, and it's just beautiful. I think that's the word I'd describe it as. It's just, yes, it's composed well, and the rest of it, the bokeh balls and the colours, the textures. I'm assuming this is probably in Scotland, by the looks of the lichen on that birch. It looks very, very much as though it's got some Scottish lichen. Not that I'm that much clued up on the lichen, of course, but I don't see that much of it down here, to be fair. But it seems to be quite lichen heavy. But no, I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't say anything more. I just absolutely love it. It's just beautiful.
I'm guessing, I could be totally wrong here, but and you'll have to let us know. Is it shot on a vintage lens? Because I'm just looking at those bokeh shapes in the corners, and that's like a classic sort of shape of a vintage lens, like a Helios would do that sort of. Yeah, they're not rounded in the corners. That's sort of like a Helios type thing.
Tell me this isn't. Are you going to tell me who it's shot by in a minute?
You tell me.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you do?
Who
okay.
is it?
Well, it probably isn't how I thought it was then.
Who do you think it is?
I was going to say, tell me it's not Kevin Davis that took this shot.
It's not Kevin Davis. No, it's Ellis Wood.
Ah, okay. And the reason I asked for Kevin, because there's a fallen branch from a birch tree in Holme Fen that's very similar to that Kevin Davis took. So if me just rabbiting on about it being in Scotland, if that was in Holme Fen, I would look pretty embarrassed. Really.
It's Festive Birch by Ellis Wood. So well done, Ellis.
Yeah, lovely shot.
You also got second for Sam, and fourth, for Dave. So he did really well on that. And I got to say that was really close to my top 5 as well. Really close. Well, hello. I'm just jumping in here. This is obviously after the recording. As you can probably tell, we had quite a difficult evening doing the podcast with all of the judging of the competition. And we actually missed out Adam's first place, which is this image here by Peter Rogers. It's called Fizzy. Also was picked in third place by Sam. And I know Adam really liked it because he liked the abstract nature of it. And also, I believe he said that he wasn't quite sure exactly what it was, which is another thing that drew him to it. So well done, Peter. A deserved first place there from Adam. Anyway, moving back to the podcast. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us all pick the same image as our number one image, which is, I guess, is what happens when you get a load of men together.
Wow,
so
that's impressive.
It's a great shot, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to have a quick chat about it?
This come in relatively early, and
it did. It was number 8 on the list.
It stood out for me, like, as soon as I kind of started looking at the entries, and I just, at the time when there was very few entries, I just thought this is number 1. But obviously there's loads more to come in. There's plenty of time. And then the next batch of entries come in. And I was thinking how good the other entries were. And I was trying to place them in my head. But again, this was number 1. And it got right into the end of the competition and it just didn't change. So I think that kind of stood the test of time. No matter how much you looked at this, it was as good from the first view to the last view. So whoever it was, very well done.
Yeah, it's a fantastic image. The light is brilliant. The atmosphere is brilliant. The colours, the processing, everything about it is just fantastic. And the same as you, Daz, it came in very early, and I honestly looked at it when it came in and thought, I can't see much topping that.
No,
and nothing did for me. So yeah. Stu, do you want to add anything?
I think, I mean, there'll be a lot of photographers that have shot down here at Elter Water. The one thing I'd say with it is that prominent tree on the right. Most of the time when you see that tree shot, it's usually a tighter crop of it. You won't see that many shots composed like this in the sort of wider sense. But that bit of mist that's being lit up in the background there enables it to be, shot wider. And that kind of makes it, doesn't it?
It'd be a photo crop to shoot that narrower, wouldn't you? and that light in the frame.
Yeah,
Next image.
It's a really nicely composed image on a scene that's often photographed differently. So
Yep. So well done with that. And obviously, because so many of us picked that is the competition winner. And I will go through the top 3 really quickly. In third place, with 55 points, is Charlie's Tree Aurora, which is Darren Morehouse. So Darren, you've won a prize. Well done. It's unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because you've won a prize, but it's the one that the top 2 haven't picked. Number 2 is Ellis Wood with Festive Birch. So well done, Ellis. So if you would like to drop me a message with your number 1 and number 2 picks for the prizes. So we've got the Land and Light signed book from Adam. We've got Thomas Heaton's latest book signed, or we've got the bag, the Low Pro bag. So if you put your top 2 choices, you will get whichever one the winner doesn't pick. And the winner with Autumn Meets Winter at River Brathay is Steve Stain.
Well done,
Steve.
Steve.
Well done, Steve. I'll just let you know that you scored 119 points, and the next place was 56. So it really did.
Steve.
It really did stand out. So so well done, Steve. Just drop us a message with whatever you want. So like I said, you got the Adam signed book,
Steve, word
Thomas's
of advice,
signed book, or the bag.
Go with Adam's book. You won't regret it.
Thank you very much.
Don't miss out on that book, mate.
So let us know. And I'll also, if you could, all 3 of you guys could send me in your address as well, and I'll get those posted out to you. But well done. I mean, and well done to everyone who's featured here. Well done to you guys for putting up with that, with me sharing that screen and it taking so long. But there were so many other amazing images as well. I've got to say, there were some fantastic images that didn't even make the top 5. So thank you so much for entering. It's really appreciated. And we will run a few of these at the end of this episode so you can see the ones that didn't quite make it.
I must say, it makes a big difference to what medium you choose to view the images. I viewed all my choices on my phone, but here on a bigger format, they just pop out.
Yeah.
It just promotes the fact that books, even photography books, are the way to go rather than a bit of thumb movement on Instagram.
Yeah,
you're not
absolutely.
Or prints.
Prints.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've had a little look through Adam's book and I've had a little look through Thomas's book, and to see it in print, it's a different beast. It's a totally different beast. It's night and day. So, and next year the winner could get Stuart's book.
Yes.
When's
that coming out,
there
Stuart?
You go.
Any news on that?
Well, I was talking with the printer this morning, actually. So, all I'll say is very soon, because you know how Adam, you know how these things work.
Are you going to have pre-sales?
Yeah, it'll be on pre-sale. There'll be sort of different editions and stuff like that. So,
right. I'll grab a copy
pretty soon.
Yeah. I'll get a copy.
Excellent.
Right.
Right. Well, James, are you going to come back when we don't do a competition, so you can have we can actually have a conversation?
I'd rather pull my nails and come back here.
No, come on. Are you going to come back so we can actually have some proper conversation?
Of course I will. Of course I will.
Yeah.
It's just that the time's really. Do you start at 6?
6, yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me at 6 because I finish work a bit later than I've got my tea and everything. But usually at 6:30 I can make it.
Right.
Well, we'll just chat without you, and then you can come on at 6:30.
Yeah.
Right.
But we really need to get you on, James, when you can actually add something to the conversation.
It's good to see you all. It's good, it's good. I'm just glad I actually made contact and actually got on because it's right fast. I don't use Chrome at all, so I had to download that. And anyway,
sorry, mate. This is the new format. It's you want to get the best quality. You've got to use Google Chrome on this, unfortunately. So
there's none of that external recording as well, isn't there? Remember old days?
When
you used to start, everyone else had to be silent, and some cheeky monkey had to interrupt you.
I remember. Yeah, none of that is an issue
well.
anymore. You see, because I control it all. It's great. It's not controlled by the
I
software.
forgot about that. We had to email you the sound file, the audio file afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I used to go, right, are we all, everyone good? Don't say anything. Everyone good? James would be like, yeah, I'm good. Every single
Such a
time.
child.
You annoying bastard. Honestly. It's good to have you back though, mate. It's good to see you.
Definitely.
Yeah, likewise.
And with that, we've got to go. Because we've been on for 2 hours now. So we'll probably get about 25 minutes out of it once I've edited it all down. But we're back next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, James, you're more than welcome to come back next week if you want to. We're not doing any competitions, so you're safe. We might even have some topics arranged by then. Who knows?
We'll see James in about 2 years.
By the way, if you've got anything you want us to discuss, yeah, that'll be it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you've got anything you want us to discuss, drop it in the comments. Because we're running out, aren't we?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. So, and we're down to Daz's ridiculous, Yeah. Well, thanks so much for watching this week. We hope you've enjoyed it. Well done to the winners. Well done to everyone who got placed. Yeah, well done. And please drop me a message with what you'd like and your address. Well done to everybody, in fact, for entering. Really, really appreciated. Some fantastic entries. Thank you, James, for coming on and not saying anything at all because we didn't give you a chance. Hopefully we'll have you on. We need to have you on again. Come on, man. We've got to have you back.
I will be back. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we've missed you. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully Sam and Dave will be fit and well to come on. Until then, we'll see you all soon. Goodbye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.